The cover of the LA Times today simply put, Coach for Life. Countless people sharing their memories in the LA Times. And one reader, Bob Dennis, writing, "You young ones, look no further for a true hero. Goodbye, Coach, and thank you for showing us a life well lived." Well, considered the man most responsible for influencing college basketball while elevating it to the standard it is today, John Wooden, as journalist William Knack put it, lived without peer in our collective memory. An American treasure who knew when to walk away from the sidelines. His approach to the game, incomparable to how he lived his life as a human being. And to talk more about John Wooden right now is Steve Jamison, who has co-authored several books with Wooden. Steve, first, our condolences on the loss of your friend today.
Thank you. I appreciate that. He truly was a friend and a mentor.
Well, Steve, it's certainly a day of reflection and celebration. What are you most celebrating today as you remember your friend?
The great good fortune that 15 years ago, almost accidentally, we began working together, and in the 15 years subsequently, we became professional collaborators, and much beyond that, friends. And all the things that we just heard from other friends of his and coaches just now reflects just about anyone who's met him, the feelings you have, whether you were a player or a coach, whether you were someone who just was a fan. In my case, I had this unique opportunity to basically be allowed by him to ask him anything I wanted for his books. And, in fact, my last meeting with Coach Wooden was about, two and a half weeks ago at his home in Encino, when I took him the rough draft or the galleys of his upcoming book, which is a very profound reflection of his life, what he did, and everything. It's called The Wisdom of Wooden, A Century of Family, Faith, and Friends. And it's filled with pictures. He was so weak when I got there, and this was just before we went into the hospital. But he still had that wonderful spark and that warmth, and his eyes weren't seeing very well, so I read the text, his words, back to him. And then I would turn around, show him the pictures that he had given from his own collection and others we had found. And it was a very moving experience, because I could see that he was in tough shape. But he would look at a picture and then kind of stare off, and he might chuckle or smile or not. It was a visit for him back to this great journey of a century that he's been on. And it was my last time with him, and it was wonderful to see.
Well, we've been saying throughout the day that his life really was a love letter, and we do understand there are pictures never seen before in that book, and that really is a reflection of it. I'm curious, from your point of view, why his wisdom is so embraced, even today, some 35 years after he walked away from the sidelines.
I read a column this morning, and some writers said his pyramid of success, which was Coach's famous collection of 15 characteristics he viewed as essential to succeed, as he defined it. He said it seems kind of corny today. Well, it isn't corny today. It never has been corny. The characteristics that he defined as paramount to being a success are not corny. And that's why they ring true today, especially today. I mean, he's more relevant today than he was at any time in his life. Hard work, enthusiasm, loyalty, friendship, cooperation, base of his pyramid of success. These are not corny qualities. They're timeless qualities. They define a person's character. And at the top of, and this is the radical part of his philosophy, his definition of success does not mention winning. It does not mention championships. What it's all about, his definition of success, which he coined in 1932, is that it is peace of mind in the self-satisfaction that comes from knowing you made the effort to become the best you can be. And effort is the ultimate standard for him as judging success. If you make the effort 100% to the fullest of your ability, John Wooden would tell anyone who cared to listen, the score cannot make you a loser. That's a radical concept. How you achieve success is in his pyramid of success, and there's so much there's so much to what he teaches. I mean, he introduced me to Shakespeare. He loved to quote the great philosophers, Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, and yet he loved these, what you might call kind of maybe corny little rhymes that produced big ideas. And one that goes to the core of what he taught and what he believed is a little rhyme that he found in a magazine back in South Bend, Indiana. And it really sums up what he believes. And the rhyme goes like this. At God's footstool to confess, a poor soul knelt and bowed his head. I failed, he cried. The Master said, thou didst thy best. That is success. And that little poem was a catalyst for him defining his own definition of success and how you get there. So he combines these various sources along with his own great expertise, and most of all, his example of integrity, honesty, hard work, knowledge. You know, he says when you're through learning, you're through. He never quit seeking knowledge, and he never quit teaching what he learned on the way.
Steve, you say 15...
I'm reminded of that scene in the last scene of Shakespeare. They're talking about Hamlet. Horatio says, basically, we shall not see his like again. And we will not see John Wooden, the likes of John Wooden again.
Steve, you said 15 years ago it was an accident that you began working together. After listening to you, it was no accident. Steve Jameson, we really appreciate your thoughts and memories of John Wooden on this day. And again, our condolences on the loss of your dear friend.